Your back pain is the result of hidden triggers that you don't even realize that you're repeating every day. If you're tired of feeling like you're in constant pain, it's time to cut that chronic pain cycle and finally start focusing on relief. In this video, I'm going to teach you my 12-step process to breaking free from chronic back pain and getting your life back. This is the exact same system I used and developed when I was going through my chronic back pain cycle. It's the same system that's helped hundreds of others get over their chronic back pain, get their life back through my coaching program, the Body Rebuild System. Now, today is going to be about step 5, which is breaking the pain cycle by eliminating the pain triggers. All right, let's get into it. Step 1 is to practice spine hygiene the same way you brush your teeth. Now, what does that even mean, and what's spine hygiene? So spine hygiene is a daily ritual just like brushing your teeth. The only difference is it's your spine that you're protecting from decay. Now, if you've heard me talk and rant about solving back pain before, you've probably heard me that it's the little things that you do that actually stop you from picking the scab. Now, what's picking the scab? Picking the scab is when you're constantly doing movements, activities, postures, etc. that are beating up your back. It's like the energy bar we talked about. If you're constantly picking the scab, you're never going to allow your back to heal. So practicing poor spine hygiene, constantly picking the scab, not focusing on the way you lift things, not focusing on the way you sleep or sitting for long periods of time, not moving, all beat up that energy bar, and then boom, you have a flare up. So spine hygiene is about setting up your life and setting up habits that are going to reduce strain on your spine, stop you from beating up that energy bar, and help you build momentum. So here are some simple things that you can do right away that are going to help you with spine hygiene. One of them is just using a lumbar support. When I travel, I always go with my lumbar support pillow. If I know I'm going to be in the car for a long period of time, if I'm going to be on flights, and when I'm sitting down to work, I'll always use a lumbar support because I'll always take the time to make sure I practice good spine hygiene. Now, when you're sitting, you're going to want to avoid the positions that cause you pain, and so the lumbar support is great because it can keep you in that neutral position, making it so that your rib cage is stacked over your pelvis. You're not too arched, you're not too rounded, and again, this is a good position to start with. Now, you're not going to want to stay in any seated position for a long period of time, and so there's a saying, the best position is the next position, and this is going to be optimal for you, meaning that you're going to want to keep moving and changing your position over time if you do have to stay seated. The other thing you can do is actually just get up and stretch your body. You can even just go for a walk every 30 minutes. Just do something. Do not get stuck doing the same thing over and over again. Your body craves movement. And then when you're sleeping, you're going to want to put yourself in an optimal position so that when you wake up in the morning, you're not super sore. So you can start, if you're a side sleeper, by putting a pillow between your legs, and this will be big time. You can even put a small little towel rolled up on the side here that's facing down into the bed. This is going to allow that spine to stay neutral when you sleep. Okay? If you're a back sleeper, you're going to want to put some pillows under your knees and try to get that 90-degree position so that your lower lumbar isn't in awkward positions all night. Now, it might take time to adjust to this, but I promise you it will help for the long term. So like we talked about last time, the best way to conceptualize this and keep it always top of mind is to think about it as a video game. If you're someone who's played video games or you've seen a video game, you see that energy bar that gets beat up, and when it hits the bottom, you're dead, right? So what we want to try to do is keep that concept in our head and think, okay, is this way of sitting going to diminish my energy bar? Is this way of standing, am I walking too long? Is the workout I'm doing going to cause that energy bar to go down? And if you always have that top of mind, you're going to be able to continue to build momentum and stay out of these flare-up states. So these spine hygiene practices are like power-ups, right? When you do them, they're going to keep that bar where it's at, or in some cases even build it up, which is going to stop you from hitting rock bottom and having a big flare-up. So if this is all landing and making sense to you, and you're wondering, how can I stop my energy bar from being diminished and depleted every single day? You're going to want to check out my free program, the Back Pain Solution. So it walks you through exactly how to treat back pain on your own, step by step, walking you through some of these exact concepts. So you can grab it by using the link in the description. All right, let's get on to the next step. The next step here is to remove repetitive triggers that keep you stuck in that pain loop. And so like we talked about last video, this is going to be the key daily thing that you can do right now that's going to stop all this from happening. Your pain doesn't just show up overnight because you slept wrong, or you went down to pick something up and you blew your back out. It happens one rep at a time. It's through your daily habits, and finally the energy bar hits zero and you break. Here's exactly what I mean. Here are some daily things that you could be doing right now without even noticing it. So you're brushing your teeth and you're leaning closer to the mirror and you're rounding your spine instead of hinging at your hips. And then you repeat this movement every single time you need to bend forward. Completely slouching over while you scroll on your phone or while you sit, going to the gym and just working on machines and completely neglecting your glutes and your core so it's weak, lifting groceries out of the car, or let's say you're a young child, without actually fortifying your body, activating your core, having active glutes, and completely doing it with your lower back. So doing all of these movements is slowly pushing you closer to bottoming out that energy bar. And hey, you know what? You do them once or twice, it's completely fine. But if you do them all the time and it's the only way you move, you're gonna push that energy bar to its absolute minimum, and then boom, here comes the flare up. Okay, so here's what you can actually do instead if you're experiencing a ton of pain and you have to live your life like a normal human. One, you can use the golfer's pickup. Now, what the golfer's pickup will allow you to do is to really focus on keeping your lower lumbar neutral and moving at your hips. And by doing them on a single leg, it's going to make it really easy to free up your pelvis, and almost like a teeter-totter, you'll be able to bend forward and pick stuff up. You can start to hip hinge instead of rounding your spine. And so if you're at the counter cutting up vegetables or you need to lean into the mirror, if you focus on a hip hinge, you're going to be able to keep that spine neutral, which is going to be optimal for keeping that energy bar high. And then next is actually activating the supporting muscles, the moving muscles, your glutes and your core whenever doing any lifting. And yes, even just lifting things out of the car, lifting the groceries out of the car, you got to do it all the time. You got to make movement prep an actual lifestyle. You have to make it habitual. And the best part is first you're going to actually have to focus on it, but over time your body will just learn that this is how we move, and naturally you won't even have to think about it. It'll just happen. Next big focus is finding a way to modify movements instead of completely avoiding them. You're going to be at different stages of your pain, and it's very important that you don't just stop moving altogether, right? The body loves movement, right? Movement is medicine, as they say. Movement is lotion, or whatever they say. Point being here is it's so important that you stay moving, but you can't just keep doing the things that are going to be causing pain. And so what do you do instead? So the goal here is not to never feel pain. Well, that's not even realistic, but the goal here is to regress so you can actually progress. You want to be able to work around the pain, or specifically work around any movements that you're just not able to do. So here are some of my go-to examples just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. If you're at the gym and you want to do some sit-ups, you want to work the core, and sit-ups hurt, well then you got to find something else. So what you can do instead is dead bugs. I promise you, if you do dead bugs, you're gonna feel your core. So if you're used to just bending down and touching your toes, what you're gonna want to do instead is practice hip hinging with a neutral spine position. This is going to allow you to stretch out your hamstrings, work your hamstrings without causing strain to your lower lumbar. So if walking hurts because you typically walk for 30 minutes, then you can go for 10-minute walks and really just do 3 10-minute walks throughout the day, because it really is a matter of capacity, right? What can your body handle? What can it do? A lot of times it's just intensity or it's duration, right? And so you have to really listen to your body and say, well, which one is it here? Is it an intense activity that I got to modify and make it an easier activity? Or maybe I'm just doing it for too long. Maybe I can go for a 10-minute walk, but anything after that, it hurts. You want to modify movement so you can stay moving and continue to build up that capacity in the energy bar. If you just rest for too long, you're not actually building capacity, and it might actually make you feel worse. Okay, and that brings us perfectly to the next step in the 12-step series to breaking free from chronic back pain. And so once you start eliminating those pain-free triggers and starting to move better, you have to completely replace those movement habits with movement patterns and habits that are going to start to build up that energy bar and help you truly build momentum inside the gym and outside the gym. And that's what we're going to cover in the next video. Step 6 is replacing harmful habits with pain-free movement and training. So this is my 12-step series to defeating chronic back pain. And if you like these videos, make sure to subscribe so that you can see them all and you can can continue your healing journey with chronic back pain. Now, if you want to start that journey straight away, as I mentioned earlier, I have a free program called the Back Pain Solution, and you can grab that below in the description. It's going to be your one-stop shop to actually start to solve this problem on your own. Now, if you're thinking, hey, I want a little bit more guided support, you'll also see a link below of what it might look like to work with me inside the Body Rebuild System. So pick something that works best for you, whether it's subscribing, grabbing the free program, or even booking a call with me. All right, I'm going to see you in the next video.